Hello, good people. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker, coming back at you live once again from our Lone Star State with another edition of the Media Mike Speaks. All right, good people. Two of my subscribers, yes, they double teamed me, wanted me to touch upon this article from Madame Noir by Kevin Samuels. It's what the article that Kevin Samuels did the stream on by Madame Noir. And I said, well, I really don't like to indulge in the relationship thing and celebrity thing because he is somewhat of a celebrity. So I've seen a couple of his videos. And shout out to the man, he's doing his thing. But they were like, could you please just do one on this, just this one time? I said, okay, I'll look at it and I give my 2 cents on it because I'm a truth seeker, and the truth is what it is, and it does hurt. That's why it's the truth. It's not supposed to feel good because you don't want to hear it. It is what it is. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's not what I'm not saying Mr. Kevin Samuels is saying this is the truth. But we're going to talk about this here on this article, and I'll give my 2 cents. So, Kevin Samuels says black women's enemy, put women's on there, so, is Hispanic women. Is this true? Anyway, let's talk about this. Infamous image and data consultant Kevin Samuels is at it again, and of course, he comes bearing another startling message for black women, aka sisters. In a short clip captured from one of his most recent live streams, Samuels argues that black women shouldn't be concerned with their white female counterparts taking their men. He strongly believes, he quotes, Hispanic women are the group's biggest enemy. That's a strong word. I don't like to look at that enemy. That's a strong word here. But anyway, hey, that's what he says. Now, take a good look here, people. This is the quote here. His words. He quotes, your biggest enemy is the Hispanic women. She understands how to season food. I don't know what that means. A lot of African American women know how to season food. A little bit too much. So she understands sensuality, femininity, and she was raised in a patriarchal environment, according to Mr. Samuels. He goes on to quote, the difference between femininity and fake femininity is amazing. Black women, you have a problem. The Latina problem, unquote, he reinforces. So, now the article goes on to say, while Kevin's message may be a bit abrupt and misinformed, there is data that suggests an uptick in interracial marriage, not only for black men, but for black women too. According to a Pew Research study conducted from 2014 to 2015, the data found that black men were twice as likely as black women to marry a spouse of a different race or ethnicity. That's 24% versus 12%, respectively. But the data is 2015, it's like 7 years out of date, so we may have to update that data. The cause was linked to education rates among the group. Interracial marriage rates were found to be significantly higher among black people who obtained a bachelor's degree, 21%. While only 17% of black folks who had some college education, someone of a different race, married someone of a different race or ethnicity. The number dropped to 15% with those only holding a high school diploma or less. The same trend proved to be similar with the Hispanic community. Interesting. While 16% of those with a high school diploma or less are married to a non-Hispanic, the number nearly doubled to 35% among those with some college background. Hispanic men and women obtaining a bachelor's degree or higher were 46% more likely to marry outside of their race than those with a bachelor's degree or higher. But again, the study doesn't indicate enough evidence to support Kevin's claims. Okay, all right. So, while black women might not be faced with a Latina problem, this is coming from Madame Noir, social issues are a more evident culprit when it comes to jumping the broom. They may even spare us a few marital woes. I do agree with this. The society kind of shapes this. Now, it's up to individuals to decide if they're going to play into what society's demands are, or push whatever they're pushing or forcing among the masses. It's up to the individuals. What do you think about Kevin Samuels' statement? Do you agree or disagree? Sound off in the comments or not. But anyway, let me give my 2 cents here, good people. Now, a lot of valid points were raised here. And this is actually nothing new. You see, this has been going on as long as I can remember. Now, it may have been going on in other parts of the country more than others. Let's say among the coastal states and cities like New York, California, Florida, or even the Midwest like Chicago. Like the famous West Side Story recap of the 1950s and 60s, as you see here. But the Deep South, as always, has been slow to catch on. And it's maybe because they have this deep-rooted way of saying they want to preserve cultural values. Okay, if that means something. Okay. Now, I particularly have no problem with people who people choose to be with. Because why bother? I mean, they're going to have probably have enough issues to deal with on their own, from family, friends, or even cultural differences. But hey, if it works, it works. But regarding this issue of sisters versus Latina women, well, in my opinion, I believe it has a lot to do with culture and traditional values. Now, I'm not saying that African American women have no traditional values. It's just some races of people tend to hold on to it more than others, and that can sometimes be a deciding factor when it comes to looking for a potential mate. Now, are there African American women who possess these so-called feminine traits? Yes, they are out there. You just have to find them and recognize it when you do. So let's not try and start a culture war. We don't want to do that here. And I know Mr. Samuels is doing this thing for whatever reason to keep his stream going. No shade on the brother. Shout outs to him. So anyway, I hope this was good enough to satisfy those 2 subscribers. So until next time, it may or may not be the last time I discuss interracial and cultural relationships. But anyway, good people, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Free Thinker, Mr. Communicator. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.